Okay, guys, this is day 2 for Adventures in Hawaii. So, we're going in the mountains and to check out some waterfalls. So, we're going on a tour. So, let's go. I know I'm excited. Come on.
If you have questions come up, you can ask them. I promise not to bite. I mean, unless you pay extra for it, then I might. Guys, I want to tell you guys are in good hands today. When I moved to Maui, my first job here was as a tow truck driver. I did that for a while. I owned a towing service on the mainland, so it's kind of one of those jobs where you can just get hired just by showing up, So I learned the road to Hana in a Peterbilt rollback that's like 11 times bigger than this. So this is easy compared to that, so you guys are in good hands. And I've been touring for a little over a year, so I wouldn't even hazard a guess how many times I've done this road. Right here on the right, this is Twin Falls. You may have heard of that. It's a privately owned recreation area. Look right here to the right as we go across the bridge. You can see the little waterfalls in there. They've got swimming areas and hiking trails and waterfalls in there, and I think they charge $10 a head to go in there. It's been a while since I've been there, so I'm not really sure what they charge. I think it's $10. Anyway, if you decide to go there, you want to go early because you can no longer park anywhere but in their parking lot. They had a bad fatality accident right after COVID, and county kind of clamped down on that. The people were parking anywhere they could, and it was not workable. So once their parking lot gets full, they have to turn people away. Now, right up here on the left, there's a long row of trees right here. They've got long, spiky leaves. These are called hala trees, and they're going to come up a lot today. That's H-A-L-A, not hollow, but hala. These are very culturally significant. They have a lot of place in our stories today. I do want you to notice here how their roots kind of tripod into the ground. The reason for that I'll show you here in just a little bit, but their roots are like really long and narrow and very smooth, so there's nothing holding them in the ground. So that's why they've evolved into having these big spread out stances with their roots. I'm driving under a tree right here that's got a lot of little vine looking things hanging from it, and as I go around this curve here, if you'll look back to your left, you'll be able to see those. You see See those vines over there? So those aren't actually vines. Those are aerial roots, and that's a banyan tree. So what happens with those banyan trees is they drop those roots off of their branches, and when they encounter good growing conditions, when they hit the soil, they start thickening up and become like little auxiliary trunks that support the weight of that limb so that it can continue to grow out away from the main trunk. So you end up with some that just it's just like this big twisted long crazy thing, and I've got an example today I'm going to show you of that that's pretty special. Now, this is where I usually talk about motion sickness. It's going to be like this a lot of the day today. Those of you who have already gotten some ginger chews, that might be all you need. I also have some Dramamine. I hesitate to offer that first because it makes a lot of people sleepy. But, again, try and keep your eyes outside of the van. That helps a lot. But what I do want to tell you is if you get into stress, please tell me. There are things I can do to help. Just don't sit in silence until you know what happens. So, yeah, don't be shy. Tell me what's going on. I can't help you if you don't tell me. I will try to do my part and keep my driving, just this side of angry teenager. I don't suppose you guys have seen any of our two-legged feathered friends, the feral chickens, have you? There's some right here.
They have no fear.
Well, they've been here as long as humans have. The first Polynesians brought chickens with them along with pigs.
Oh, wow.
Some later groups brought some dogs with them, but we don't have like feral dogs running around. But we do have pigs and chickens, so there's a spot up here in just a little bit where somebody has been feeding them on a pretty regular basis, and so we have a ton of them some mornings up here waiting to be fed.
Now, is some of this land considered like a national park?
No, that's the national park is the top of Haleakala, the top, say, 3,000 feet in elevation, and then there's a piece of it that runs down the backside all the way down to the coast over at Kipahulu. But this is not a park. This is all either state-owned or privately owned land. These are the roots on the hala tree here. I didn't show you soon enough because I was talking, but no, it's okay. There's plenty of opportunities for that. Oh, you keep asking those questions. Right up around here at Huelo, there's a bunch of yellow bamboo planted up here. Yellow bamboo is very different from the green stuff. This yellow bamboo is what you can use to make, you can build stuff out of this. It's very structurally strong. Matter of fact, we're going to see a pizza restaurant and a bridge later today out at Hana that are built out of nothing but yellow bamboo. Here's some more of it right here. That stuff is super strong. If Gilligan and all them had a bunch of yellow bamboo, they could have built a boat out off the island.
When was this road built?
I'm glad you asked. Construction started in 1910 and it was open to the public in 1928.
Is there any reason why it's so curvy?
Yeah, because of the terrain. These are the, you've got first of all, you've got this volcanic mountain here that flowed lava wherever it took the path of least resistance. And then you've got gulches where it's eroded over time. And if they'd come through here, and the technology, the way they built roads back in that time period didn't involve blasting and, completely changing the environment. They just built the road to follow the environment. Right up here around this corner, we should see quite a few chickens here. Good morning, guys. They're waiting to get fed. Here's first of many one-lane bridges that we have out here. 54 one-lane bridges and about 650 curves. Get out a little further out, you'll be able to see a lot better what I mean about how the terrain is. I'm glad they put this sign up here telling us the road was curvy. Right? There's several of them out here. It still cracks me up.
Is the road all paved, or is there some spots that are?
Everything between here and Hana is all paved. On the backside, there's some spots that are not paved and they're beat up. And actually, there's a spot on the backside right now that's closed because of some problems with the road base. Got damaged last year when they had a big rock slide. Yeah, we'll be on pavement all day today. Now, back in the 1860s, the plantations were getting really, really big and growing, and there were two different plantation owners at that time. They later merged, but they founded a new joint venture company called East Maui Irrigation. And they sent crews out here and they built gravity feed aqueducts, about 63 miles of the system in total, that collected stream water from some of these streams out in East Maui and transported it back over to the Central Valley for irrigation purposes. It was all gravity flow. It was all built with, instruments like engineering tools of the time, like in the 1860s. And there's a lot of tunnels and open ditches and reverse siphons, and all this stuff was done by hand. And we'll see a few examples today. I'll point them out, but this was built way before there was a road out here, so the places where we can see it from the road, it's just coincidence. I think we're early enough that we're not going to get stuck by any road work. I try to get out here before the road work guys get started, and I think we made it. But even if we get held up, it's only going to be max probably 20 minutes. We're on island time anyway, right?
Yeah.
This is the one piece of that aqueduct system. They have the only reservoir on the island is right there in that valley, and it's a fairly small one. But all of these aqueduct systems all these tunnels and ditches and stuff bring the water to that reservoir, and then from there it continues on all the way over to Central Valley. If I keep close to this guy and watch his brake lights, I can tell if anybody's coming, because he will let me know. Cool how that works, huh? Now right up here in just a second, I'm going to show you something. If you haven't seen this before, you'll find it pretty magical, I think. But there's a group of rainbow eucalyptus trees up here. Have you seen those before? Okay, well, y'all are in for a treat. Y'all, listen to me. Y'all are fixing to see some shit you ain't never seen before. Sorry, it comes out. Can't help it. There you go, right there on the left. There's a couple on the right.
Wow.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. There's a stop up here in just about a quarter mile. We're going to get out and actually look at those trees.
They grow like that.
Yeah. When we get down here, I'll kind of explain to you how that works. It's kind of interesting. One thing I like about this stop, it's a first opportunity for my guests to like just stop for a minute and breathe and be present with the rainforest. And if you know what that means, you know. But if you don't really, what do you mean be present? I mean, just breathe. Use all your senses to take in what's going on around you. Touch, smell, all of it. Hey, my chickens are here today. Oh, they're coming to meet me. Look out, guys. I feed these guys so my guests can get pictures of chickens. So we're going to be crossing the road here, and this is a highway. So you can hear the traffic a lot further than you can see it. So be really careful and mindful of that.
It's hard to get the color.
Again, I want to invite you guys just to take a second and just breathe this in. Listen to the sounds, the smells, and touch the trees if you want to. This is a great opportunity to just
Attack native species and kill them, so we don't want that. We're not trying to eradicate those trees, but we're trying to like stop them where there's places where they're becoming a problem.
So will they leave like one or two?
I don't know. They do end up leaving one or two, and I don't know if it's because they just missed them or they did it on purpose. I really don't know.
Got it.
But we're not. If there's an area of them and they're not problematic, they leave them alone.
Got it.
Kind of like our approach to feral cats. Let's just, fix them and get them to stop reproducing, and then let them go back where they came from. That's a good program here. It's just they don't fund it well enough, so it's not as effective as it could be if they just put a little more effort at it.
Catching them, spaying them, releasing them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A couple of beauties on our resort.
Couple of what?
Beauties on our resort. A couple of beautiful cats.
You like cats?
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because where we eat lunch today, there's quite a few of them. And I've made friends with them, so they always come see me. Made friends. I've fed them.
Yes.
And now they come see me.
They know who has food.
Right. I don't know if you've picked up on it yet or not, but you will. I'm a bit of an animal person. It's really pretty, what do you call them? Monkey pod trees down here in these gulches, this next little area here. Take a look down here. There's a mosquito flying around right in front of me, and I don't have time to deal with him, but I'm going to eventually. Now we're driving through this little area right here. Just keep in mind, this is a federally funded state highway. Doesn't look like what you probably expect. But this is critical infrastructure for East Maui, and there's about 1,400 people who live in the in the Hana district of Maui County, and that includes 4 different communities that are Kainai, Hana, Kipahulu, and Kaupo. It looks like we might get to see a little precipitation this morning. which is good because it makes the rainforest look even more rainforesty. Here's a good example of what it looks like when green bamboo completely takes over a hillside. All of that is green bamboo. And here's another cool example of the aqueduct infrastructure. If you look right over here, there's an opening, there's a tunnel right there that opens up. Aqueduct comes right above that wall and it crosses over this stream. It doesn't mix with this stream because this stream is seasonal. So it's not a dependable source of water. But there's the tunnel, one of those hand dug tunnels right there. Can you imagine being one of those Chinese laborers who dug all those tunnels by hand, crawling through there? That would be insane.
What an amazing view from up here, guys. Because frankly, after seeing chickens for a minute, like, this is the perfect spot to see a great view of Hawaii besides more water. But there's more island here than ever. And surprisingly, it's raining because this is almost part of the rainforest, actually. Which I lost my hat for a minute. But at least we're good. So we're gonna rest here for a little minute till we get back on this tour and see what else the road takes us on this little tropical adventure.
Back in the van. Well, the other van. I don't have it in this one. But there's always going to be like locals show up, start getting out machetes and stuff, and we'll work together to get the road open back up. By the end of the day, though, the county has had a crew out here and they clean it all up. So they do a really good job of keeping this road open because it's so critical. These are hollow roots, these long straight tubes. Those are those smooth roots that the hollow tree. So that's why they kind of shows you why they have to be tripod into the ground so they don't get knocked over by wind. The fact that it's rained a little makes it even prettier. Bridge is stamped 1911. And here's one of our random, for no reason, papaya trees on the side of the road. We have a lot of them out here. Apparently, a papaya tree, you eat a papaya, you throw the seeds out, it makes a tree. Like they grow really, really easily here. So just, yeah, like not any, I mean, yeah, birds can spread the seeds, but the fact that they're right next to the road kind of tells me that that was probably human dispersal of seeds, you know. And this right here is kind of known as Hana Speedway. One of the few places along this road where you can actually pass somebody legally and safely. I love love this bridge right here. All the approaches are all covered in moss, and it's really pretty, especially when it's raining. Some of these little curves, the grass grows up and you can't see the other side of it, because like here, you can still see. But they're out here doing. So they've been out here the last few days doing some cutting of the grass to improve visibility through some of these one-lane sections. We should be here for just a minute or two.
Something you don't see every day. And I would get closer. Yeah. The water's so clear you can see almost anything under there if I dared myself to go a little closer. But I'm not going to do that to you guys because, you know, this is really rocky rocks in it, and I might die if I get washed away in the ocean. And which we won't. And I know you guys don't want me to die in a little accident that fast, because I still got time to finish in life. So let's just watch the water coming in. Yeah, so I got a teensy bit closer, and you're not going to believe what we see. There's like crabs, mud skippers, a little bit of fish. It's really cool. I think these are like rock pools. See? So crabs over here, they're really big here. And black. I thought most crabs would be either red or something. I guess it's just the child stuff, huh? And there's another one right here. Like you can never see much crabs on these rocks. And one little fish and mud skippers. So let's get out of here before the water gets closer to us. Come on.
So we were talking earlier about tsunamis, and I mentioned how that the entire planet now is covered with, you know, seismic sensors. They know immediately, and we have, I'll show you in a minute, but we've got these tsunami sirens. Those of you from the Midwest will recognize them as tornado sirens. But tornadoes is much less of an issue here. But the sirens here, they're for tsunamis, and they say that if the siren sounds and it's not a test, to get to higher ground and then get dialed in and find out what's going on. That's one of the sirens right over there on top of that little hill. Now, we got the phone thing too, and if you're within signal, you'll get text alerts. Sometimes you'll just get a text alert out of nowhere that says, oh, there's been an earthquake in Indonesia or something, and it's 6.2 or whatever. And then about 5 or 10 minutes later, you'll get another text that says, it repeats that part, and then it says, we don't, there's no tsunami threat to Hawaii at this time, and then everybody just goes on. But it takes them a few minutes to figure that out, but they let us know as soon as they detect an earthquake. Well, alrighty then. When we cross this little bridge down here, take a look to your right. There's a really cute little waterfall right up here. Right there. Isn't that pretty? Up here at the top of this gulch, there's a little stream running underneath that feeds the peninsula all their irrigation water. So they divert water from this stream for those to fill those taro patches. But there's also a really cute little swimming hole down there. A lot of local kids swim down there. I don't think there's anybody down there right now, but right there, crystal clear, real deep hole there. Got an overlook here of Kenai Peninsula. Really good opportunity to kind of just soak all that in. Agriculture down there is really pretty.
And that's all taro?
Yeah. I mean, I see there's some banana plants down there, but almost everything down there is taro. And that's how those people make their living. Grow taro, sell it.
And those ponds of water, just from irrigation water?
Yeah, there's the stream is right beneath us. There's a little lagoon there, and right here is where it flows out to the ocean. But right now it's like low enough that it's all blocked off with gravel. When you get a big rain out here, it'll wash that gravel plug out, and then as soon as it gets to draining, within a couple of days, the ocean puts all that gravel back. It's interesting how that works. See that down there? There's more, and of course there's more to Kenai than just the peninsula. This is a whole community here. I love these people's landscaping. They do such a nice job keeping that place beautiful. Now, Kenai is the halfway point between beginning of the road to Hana and Hana Town. So of course they got a store up here called Halfway to Hana. Trim this back. It's getting where you can't see. Right up here on the right is the old Kenai School. It's not that old, but so before the pandemic, this school was here for kindergarten through 4th or 5th grade. They had 2 teachers here. When the pandemic hit, one of them retired and the other one left the island. So they closed the school. When they opened the schools back up, now the little kids go with the big kids to Hana. I hope that's a neat little school building, and it's really fun to just look at that building and think about what it'd be like to grow up here as a kid. See, we don't have, let's just say helicopter parenting is not a thing here. Kids are raised more I don't want to say feral, but let's go with free range. You know, and you live in these little communities, and everybody's auntie is your auntie, and everybody knows your mom, so you know better act up. You're gonna get lickings when you get home. Kids just, you know, it's just a different way to grow up. I mean, it's not all, you know, rainbows and sunshine, but it's definitely a different way of life. Now, down here in this valley, there's a village down there called Wailua, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute. But Wailua has got the same 8 or 9 families have lived in this village probably, they say, for 1,000 years. And you know, the only way you're going to get to have a place to live down there is if you marry somebody who lives there, because they don't sell their property. I mean, it's family land. It's one of the things Hawaiian people are told from the time they're a little kid. You always take care of your family land. You don't ever let it go. You take good care of it, because otherwise you're disrespecting your ancestors. And you know, to some degree that applies to the entire island in their minds. Let's see if we got room to come in here. Yeah, we're good. This is the upper valley. You remember I was telling you how these communities were set up so everybody had access to the same kinds of resources? That was weird. He started backing up without looking, and then he caught me in his mirror, and he stopped abruptly. It was like I startled him. Anyway, we're going to do 1,000 years ago. But other than that, yeah, come over here further. Oh, my back. It's right up there. There's another little small one right here, but it's barely close. Anyway, if you guys want to go upstairs and look at the village below.
Let's go check out that village, guys. I'm quite excited to see this, actually. Alright, guys, let's go check out this view. Oh, the village looks even cooler from down below. All these buildings and fields, the ocean, some rocks over there,
And they'll be like on one side of it, there'll be a small
farms. You don't see
cluster of
anything
homes.
from up here.
And these are each, well, the clusters of homes, those are multi-generations of families living on the same property. You get a lot of that here. So you can kind of tell if you look where there's a family there, there's one here. You know, you can kind of tell where the different groups are. Turn around and look at that. That is amazing. Something you guys might not care about, but there's a spot in the woods right there. Step in there and somebody takes your picture. It looks like
Yeah, no more interruptions from real life today. Now up here at the top of this gulch, there's one of the probably the prettiest waterfall we have on our tour today. This waterfall up here is colloquially known as Three Bears Falls. So when you get up here, take a look at it and see if you can't figure out why people call it that. Sorry about that. That plant jumped out and got me. So yeah, Three Bears Falls. Anybody figured it out yet? It's a really pretty valley. It's kind of funny. I just imagine being an actual adult who thinks that this song has anything to do with witchcraft. That's just so ridiculous. Yeah, that's what they're claiming. Our little thing on the Eras tour, that's witchcraft. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. I thought we were done. I grew up in the 80s, and I thought Satanic Panic was bad then. Everybody's like, oh, everything is the devil. Everything is the devil. That was pretty disturbing. You attract what you focus on. Anyway, I'd like to talk story with you guys a little bit. There's a lot of history here that I have learned, and I'd like to share some of that with you. It kind of helps paint the picture of why things are the way they are today. But also, you come out here and you visit Hawaii. It's good to learn about the stories of the people who this is their ancestral home. So we had talked earlier about how that some of these communities lived out here, and prior to European contact. But I want to kind of start this story in about 1758. Got my numbers confused there. 1758. There was a chief, Li'inui, over on the Kona side of Big Island, and his daughter was pregnant with his grandchild. And of course, he had no idea if it was a boy or girl, and was concerned because he didn't have any boys. So he wanted to make sure that he was wondering if this was going to be the next leader. Is this kid going to be the one? So he went.
Because these big chunks here, they're the same. They fit. You could make this into a jigsaw puzzle here. You can see what happened. But what caused this roof collapse, and why are we not in danger of it happening now? Any guesses?
The roots?
You got it.
The roots are holding it up.
So these little wispy roots from this banyan tree, they've pushed their way down through the rock. They came into the cave, got to the bottom, and then became like these big guys. And this is what broke the rock. Now, if you guys want to come down here, I want to show you. You want to go ahead? So if you guys want to come down here, I'll show you this. This is a really pretty view right here.
Well, after getting through these rocky cave, which was totally out of bungus, it was like crazy as hell. We're not going to do that again. So we're going to go back into the van. Okay guys, now for our next part is we're looking at turtles. And this one's about to go back into the water. Pretty cool, or what? I'm really exhausted after walking right now. Not a little tired, so I don't know how much my voice is going to take. So yeah, just enjoy watching these turtles. long nature tour, if I say it for myself, guys. So tomorrow is gonna be another exciting day. So just stay tuned. So let's all go to sleep and call it a night. Night now.